Welcome to Medica Wellness Studio. I'm Angelika Maria Koch with the educational videos about how to live optimal health and vibrant well-being as I continue to guide you step by step through an amazing and life-transformative process, empowering you to connect with your body and soul in a completely new way again. So today I'm really excited to present to you the beginning of a 7 to 8 months discovery series called Radical Chakra Healing in the New World. During this unprecedented time of global challenges and changes, more than ever you are asked to take care of yourself by taking back the responsibility of your soul path, your body, yourself, and your life. And this discovery series not only will support you in this unfolding journey of self-transformation, but also will provide you with very natural and effective therapeutic tools in how to heal the symptomatology or the ailments of each indicated chakra. I can reassure you, after all this material, you won't be the same anymore, as by then you will have cultivated a new relationship towards yourself, your loved ones, and your surroundings. So we'll explore one chakra at a time for a whole month, and we break it down in 2 sessions. One session will focus on the metaphysical aspect of the chakra, followed by another video where we then explore therapeutic tools in how to heal the symptoms which are related to each chakra. I often refer to the material from Dharma Singh Khalsa and Cameron Stout in his book Meditation as Medicine, which I can highly recommend here in order to support as an adjacent tool the chakra healing, as well as other authors like Caroline Myers from Anatomy of Spirit. For the ones out there who are completely new to the concept of chakra healing, let's have a look at the meaning. The chakra system and Kundalini yoga arose within the tantric tradition in India during the second half of the first millennium. Very old wisdom, and has really infiltrated in every alternative tool today, so we use it all the time. The 8 chakras consist of the 7 whirling vortexes. That's what chakra means. It's like the turning wheel, the spinning wheel of ethereal energy that are vertically aligned along the spine and the head, plus the aura of the ethereal energy that surrounds the entire body. The 8 chakras are active all the time, even if you're not aware about it. The chakras not only hold the ethereal energy, but also transfer it to the other chakras, so they have a communication system happening here. In addition, they transmit ethereal energy to the physical body, particularly to the nerves and the endocrine glands. The endocrine system today is still sort of like a very complex system and misunderstood. It's actually the bridge between the body and the spirit. So each chakra is located in the exact same area as a major nerve plexus and an endocrine gland. Endocrine glands, for example, are hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas, ovaries, testes. These are all glands which produce hormones. The beauty and the elegance of the chakra system is that it is not only strictly physical or metaphysical, but it's both. And it really covers the body, mind, and spirit. So therefore, each chakra has not only specific sort of physical characteristics, but also psychological and spiritual characteristics. For example, in the first chakra, which we are going to explore today, the physical characteristic would be the inability to eliminate waste products, like feces, and then we have constipation. The psychological aspect would be the inability to eliminate negative thoughts and bad habits. And the spiritual aspect here would be maybe being stuck in this illusion of isolation, which is part of the first chakra. So each of these characteristics, of course, influences the others due to the unity of the body and mind and spirit. No illness exists either on the physical, on the psychological, or spiritual level. It has to have all 3. And Dharma Singh Khalsa really beautifully, eloquently gave this sentence, which I would like to share with you. For illness to exist, it must overpower the positive forces of all 3 levels. And the positive forces of all 3 levels must be restored to again overpower the illness. You see, it's a very different concept of healing. So one important way that the chakras unite the body, mind and spirit is by transmitting the ethereal energy from the lower chakras to the higher chakras. How do they do that? They transmit this energy we call prana, which is the incoming outside worldly energy, through the systems of the nadis, which you can maybe relate to as physical energy conduits or non-physical energy, because they're not visible, like the acupuncture meridians, but you have access to it, right? We know they're there. So one of the three nadis is called Ida, and it starts on the left nostril all the way down to the left side to the base of your spine, and it represents the female energy, the cooling energy, the receptive energy, the relaxing energy, the yin energy. By the opposite of the Pingala, which is starts on the right nostril and goes all the way down to the base of your spine on the right side. It is represented to the masculine energy, the warming energy, excitatory energy, the movement energy. After these two types of energy are drawn into the body, primarily through the breath, they are carried by the Ida and the Pingala to the base of the spine, which makes the first chakra. And this energy is then swirled in a vortex of the first chakra by the polarities that exist there. So we have in the first chakra, and each chakra has polarities like yin and yang and positive or negative. They're all are needed here. And in the first chakra, the aspects are very much about individuality versus the desire for companionship. How can I live and be an authentic, sovereign individual and yet, be in full connection with the outside world, the tribe where I come from, the family, and therefore establish companionship with the other. That is really the lesson here. So when this prana is swirled by polarity, it increases in strength and becomes very powerful. And it goes into Kundalini energy, the healing energy. And this Kundalini is then carried back up from the spine through a central nadi, the third nadi, which is called the Shushmana, which is our central energy channel. And here this energy can be then transferred from one chakra to the next. It can also activate the physical energy in the spinal cord by vibrational resonance. It's very sensitive to sound. It's virtually important, very important to stimulate the Kundalini energy to rise above and not get bogged down or stagnated in the three lower chakras. They are more related to the earth energy and the primal instinct to survive. So here we are very occupied with power, financial security, pro-recreation, as well as stability and true the core part of survival instincts. And often we forget the four upper chakras, which are more related to inspiration, spirituality, selfless service, intuition, inspiration. We all need them. There's no judgment between the lower and the upper. They're all important. We cannot be a spiritual person without really healing the lower chakras first. So the human spirit can use the chakra energies in a very conscious way. For example, in the first chakra we have a lot of primal energy. Let's say anger, and we maybe can transform that into righteous indignation, or we can transform, the energy of lust into the lust for life, right? So it makes it much more vast and expansive and much more positive. So when the energy moves freely among the chakras, it stimulates the mental, physical and spiritual health of the entire organism. But when it becomes stuck, then we lose balance within ourselves and the homeostasis is affected. So the energy is most likely to get stuck in the first three chakras because we are so occupied with our daily chores and tasks, in particular with this survival instinct. And often we think like life has to be hard and a struggle here. The first chakra has a name. It's called Muladhara, and it's the seat of survival. It is located at the base of the spine near the rectum, and therefore it's very connected and closest to the earth energy and the world. So what's coming in, it's still worldly. Yet it's also very farthest away and, separated from the higher chakras, the spirit. So here, when the earth element is out of balance, the person often is occupied with very obsessive thinking and doesn't learn the lesson. So there is this ceaseless repetition of life experiences. They attract the same partners. They, go for the same jobs over and over, and yet are very deeply frustrated. They also have this idea that they're missing the life lessons. And it should be really seen as a primary mirror of our unconscious urges and automatic instincts. It's a reflecting of the root essence of our selfhood. The first chakra is very much tightly bound to the instinctual and survival reactions. So you can also relate to them on a physical level, like an eliminator of waste products. So when we eat food, we see the color, we taste it, we smell it. But by the time it's broken down to its basic components, we don't have a relationship to it anymore. It comes out as feces, basically, and it just leaves our body. So this same function holds true in a larger sense also for the metaphysical activities of the first chakra. So the first chakra reduces our, many varied needs and desires down to the very primal, basic components, which are really the desire to stay alive and to be an individual self. That is the core essence, and also the conflict often with the first chakra, that you want to be part of your tribe where you come from, but you also want to be and express yourself and live as an individual, authentic, sovereign self. Unfortunately, here the energy becomes very stuck in the first chakra due to our overriding preoccupation of survival and this selfhood. So when this happens, we have an excess of energy in this first chakra. And often we can say it's like a consciousness constipation. These people worry a lot about their health, their money, their status. They become very obsessed with the negative sort of first chakra emotions like jealousy and retaliation and revenge and greed. They also often begin feel very terribly isolated, right? Because they're imprisoned in this exaggerated own selfhood now. At its worst, there's the feeling of isolation, and it goes then into paranoia. There's a lot of anxiety and fear involved. Here, I really feel like there is the inability to eliminate bad habits and negative thinking. So in one sense, a healthy first chakra actually portrays a very good sense of security and stability in self, which is great. But then there is versus the desire with the merging of the other selves. And again, I say this is the challenge of the first chakra. And you want to have a companionship, you want to be with your family, and you want to have a group protection. All of that comes in here too. So what are the physical characteristics of the first chakra? Well, it is situated at the base of the spine, and therefore the lower parts of your abdomen are very much affected here. We talk about colon, the anus, the rectum, the descending colon, the Leydig cells, which also produce testosterone, and it leads us a little bit into the second chakra, but they're part of it. So we have often symptoms like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, spastic colon, and of course the worst on the list is colon cancer, which is really an expression of the inability to eliminate toxins. We know cancer today is a disease of environmental toxins, but it really shows us the inability to eliminate toxins. And here I say stay away from animal fats, because that just adds to it. Interesting enough, today, when we look at the health statistics and the disease statistics, colon cancer is now taking over heart diseases in the US. So it's the prime first disease in our population today. So why is that, right? We haven't really healed our connection to our tribe and wanting to be an individual, and therefore the body starts to react. Plus, the onslaught of entered environmental toxins. You know, these symptoms, irritable bowel syndrome and Crohn's disease, are not just painful in themselves, but also they compromise the assimilation of the nutrients and thereby the whole dysfunction throughout the entire body. Another serious problem often related to the first chakra is constipation, which is extremely common here. Now, the bowels are functioned by a peristalsis. It's like muscles, longitudinal muscles and round muscles are work in a beautiful rhythm to move the food along. Now, it is also governed by the autonomic nervous system, which you don't have a willpower over it. It just happens within the body. It's an intelligent mechanism. And this autonomic nervous system is highly reactive to stress. So when you get anxious, or if you get irritable or have any heightened emotions, your colon is affected. And therefore the peristalsis of the colon isn't working very well. So a good flowing first chakra really not just only lets the food propel in a very beautiful way down to the elimination axis, but also it prevents diseases like constipation. The first chakra, and to a larger extent also the second chakra, is related to the adrenal glands. Again, one of the endocrine glands. And they are located at the top of the kidneys, a little bit near, and their physical function is about fight and flight. So when a lion runs after me and wants to gobble me up, my adrenal glands produces adrenaline or cortisol, which makes me run for life. Unfortunately, in this fast-paced life today, most of us live a life as if the lion is running behind you each and every day. So we have an overstimulated first chakra, which produces, for example, excess cortisol. And an excess cortisol has a direct relationship to your brain, particularly in diseases like Alzheimer's or age-related memory disorders. You know, that you think it has nothing to do with it, but really our intestines are our second brain. So if you clean out the first chakra, or bring it more in a balanced state, your brain is functioning better as well. I want to finish this video with a self-exploratory questionnaire today. I encourage you to get a journal and really ponder on the following question, which were taken from the book Anatomy of the Spirit from Caroline Myss, which are really useful here. They connect you with the first chakra and really let you explore what needs to still to be healed. I'm sure there are many issues there. So the first question would be, what belief patterns did you inherit from your family? Which of those belief patterns that still have authority in your thinking can you acknowledge are no longer valid today? For example, one of them would be, I have to work 3 times harder in order to deserve the check by the end of the month, right? Anything on that level. What superstitions do you have? Which have more authority over you than your own reasoning ability? Do you have a personal code of honor? What is it? Have you ever compromised your sense of honor? If so, have you taken steps to heal it? Do you have any unfinished business with your family members? And we can say, yes, right? We need an extra journal for that. If so, list the reasons that prevent you from healing your family relationships. List all the blessings that you feel came from your family. If you are now raising a family on your own, list the qualities that you would like your children to learn from you. What tribal traditions and rituals do you continue for yourself and your family? Are there any ceremonies still there? Describe the tribal characteristics within yourself that you would like to strengthen and develop. So it doesn't matter what country you're born, doesn't matter where you come from, what language you speak. Cherish these gifts from your tribe, but also then develop your individual self in connection with this gift and work with them together. I hope this short video has given you a brief taste of the possibility of healing and how you can become an active participant in your own healing journey. So over the next 2 weeks, we will have a look at the very practical healing tools and how to meet symptoms which are related to the first chakra. So stay tuned here and subscribe to this channel so you can be updated throughout this discovery series. You can also contact me on my email medicanova.net. Right now I'm updating and have a big overhaul of my website. So if you want to know, learn and discover more about my online courses in homeopathy and quantum healing, contact me at my email info@medicanova.net. So till next time, much love. Take care.